Hey everyone, this is PrinceWatercress, and welcome back to Let's Play Magical Poppin' for the Super Famicom. In the last video, we made it through the 5th stage of the game. And now, we are on the 6th and final stage of the game. I'm not going to show off all the rooms in stage 6, instead I'm just going to show off the best and fastest path to get through this. And this is definitely going to be the hardest stage out of all the ones that we've played in this game, so I may die here too, so you never know. Anyway, let's go ahead and begin. That chest that we just passed by contains a birthday cake, in case we actually need for something. And we have two paths here. The bottom leads to the harder path, while this top path leads to the easier one. I'm going to go ahead and stick to the easier one. And if you need stars, you can open this chest to get them. And I was hoping not to get stabbed in midair like that. Oh well. And by gingerly tapping B, I was able to get up there without touching the spikes. This guy can breathe fire. Be careful. And you gave me cake. Thank you. Let's make our way to the right here. Here's some more stars if we need them. And we're going to have to face a whole bunch of fire-breathing enemies as we go through here, too. And there's a birthday cake if you need it. Further to the right is another area where we just make our way up. Now for this area, let's see here. Okay. That brings up a platform that I want to use. And I want to get to this before it disappears. Now in these two chests, there's a statue head and I believe some more stars. And if we can carefully make our way to the right, we can get over there and enter this door to enter an outdoor section. Let us make our way to the left. Thankfully, there are no enemies in this particular room. And here, we can take an elevator to get another doorway. And then we can go to the right. And now we get to face this guy. You want to wait for him to strike the floor with his hammer. And then run up to him. And then downward stab. Sometimes this guy will do a 5-way shot. As far as I can tell, it's pretty random whether or not he chooses to do it. It's possible to face him and never have him do that the whole time. And if I can get the timing down, I can hit this guy with the downward stab every time. Alright. Yeah, I thought you had to duck to dodge the 5-way shot, but apparently you can just stand there and it still won't hit you. That's really weird. I usually duck. But anyway, let's go ahead and go to the right here and make our way down. Let's go ahead and take care of these guys as we go. Grabbed the candy, but I got hit at the same time, and therefore it kind of canceled everything out. Ow. And from here, we're going to want to drop down, get a star, get a big star, and some birthday cake. And then we can go through these opening to the left. You want to wait for that platform to materialize, and then make your way to this door to the right. There's not much downwards. And in here, we face another boss. Now, the boss here, there's 4 sets of eyes. One of them is going to be the boss. When you see the boss materialize, that's when you want to strike him. Otherwise, he will dive down at you. And you'll have to... In case he does dive down at you, you can shoot a laser at him. He'll block that. And then you can run up to him and hit him. And then you'll go back to this part of the whole thing. But if you know where he's going to show up, you can easily hit him. really, really easy boss battle for this part. It is possible to skip him entirely if you take part of the harder path at the bottom at the beginning of the stage. And you can just go in here anyway and just make him optional. But if you take the easy path, you do have to face him. Anyway, this elevator leads back down to the hard path. So if you want to make it seem a little hard on yourself midway through, you can. But I just go through here. And from here, we make our way to the right a little bit. We face some spearmen before we go over to the right, where we face this guy. If you need some health or a statue head, you can get it here. Want to be very careful as you make your way through here. There are some things in the chests, but you'll probably hurt yourself on the spikes trying to get them, so I just don't even bother. And I just go through this door. And I believe you have to go to the right here. Let me see if I'm going into the right room. Yeah, I think I'm going into the right room here. Anyway. Let us be very careful as we make our way up here. And there's a whole heap of stuff that you can grab if you need it. If you take the lower path first. You can still get statue heads if you have 9 lives, but the game cannot count past 9 as far as the lives count goes. Anyway, we need to make it into this door. And then we'll face this guy. Now this guy, you need to wait for him to move. And then hit him while he's shooting the fireballs. You just want to be very careful. You want to make sure you don't get hit trying to get to this guy before you can jump up to him and hit him. Like that. Thankfully, this is the only attack that this guy does. And your sword is the only way you can hit him, too. You can't use magic. He will just automatically block your magic if you use it against him. And if you take too long to hit him, you'll also trigger that shield as well. And of course, he flies away if you're too far away. Or too close to him, rather. And now we are back down to one, or rather half a skull for this guy. And he goes down just like that. As long as you know what to do, this guy is pretty easy to take down. And now we can make our way to the right. These guys have rocket launchers, so watch out for them as you make your way to the next door to the right. And now we got the bouncing balls here, which I do not like. They can hit you when you least expect them to. And there's going to be a lot of them in this particular room. And yeah, you want to hit this switch. And then get to the door that is above where the switch was. And if I could not get caught there, that would be great. Yes, let me get caught on the spikes for whatever reason. Good decision there, game. And yeah, I was going to die there anyway. Thanks, game. Thanks for doing this. They just had to make this the worst room by far. And you can't even go past 9 lives. That's disappointing. I had to get on this platform to get to this one. Are you serious? Get... I swear these sparks are like American Express. They're everywhere I don't want them to be. Okay. I think it's better for this switch to reset and then I can do this. Are you kidding me? That was better. Mostly because I didn't have a garbage pattern on anything here. And then we need to move this over here and then get to this room. I wish you had a cake in this specific part. But anyway, here's this guy. He's now wearing blue. He has an extra attack where instead of throwing fireballs at you like the purple guy did, he can run at you and try to hit you with a laser. You need to watch and see what he does. Get close, but not too close. That way, in case he does the thing where he goes to the ground, you can still hit him without getting hit yourself. Because he can hit you diving towards you. And if you are here with low health because of all those spark balls, yeah, that's not a good thing. Can you hit the man? Thank you so much. And almost got hit by the laser, but thankfully I managed to correct myself there. Yeah, I do not like the room with the bouncing sparks. You just have to get through those as quickly as possible. Now, you could go through all this. And thankfully it's not hard because of how everything here is. However, you're better off going this way because you can easily get through here. Then roll your way up to get to this door. You actually have to go through this path. That door we saw in the lower right-hand corner, it seems like it's a useful shortcut. It's not. Instead, it just takes you to the area to the right where the switch that you would activate over there just causes a bunch of gold slimes to drop down, and they seem indestructible, and I'd rather not even mess with them. Instead, I'd rather go through this door instead. Now this platform that I just jumped on to get to this moving one, it does phase in and out, and you want to be careful as you do stuff. And apparently platforms still move even when I'm doing this. Also, this room has a lot of lag. A ton of lag. Just because of all the platforms and the enemies that are here. There's a lot of moving parts to this particular room. And both of these little corners just contain statue heads. Fun. Okay. Now we need to wait again for these platforms to converge at the center, so that way I can take the rotating ones and get to where I need to go. And if I could go without getting hit a whole bunch, that would be perfect. I don't know where this room will take me. Oh. Never mind. I knew it would take me the whole time. To health and stars. And I really needed the health after everything that we've went through. Now we need to make our way to the other end of this area. And If I could go without being hit by energy rings, that would be great. We need to make our way to this other platform. And then we can easily jump our way to this door. This is where we need to go. And if you need more stuff, you can always go up here for a birthday cake, a big star, and a statue head. We're back at 9 lives. You really want to go up to this door that's to the right. And no, I didn't go this way. Wrong path. Yeah, I didn't take this path. Not as far as I can remember. And we want to roll our way up on the left wall, though that way when we stop, we can hold right on the control pad and make it to this door. Now I remember where I went. And now we have another section where we have to go to the left. How do these passages work? And here we are. We just need to make our way up these platforms. Once again, the game is very generous with big stars, birthday cakes, and statue heads. And I just missed where I was supposed to land. You're supposed to go over here and go right. And now we need to make our way to the right, to the next room. Now here we'll be dropping down and dealing with some powerful enemies, but we can just drop down here, hold down, press B, and we'll just drop here. Ow. Well, we lost some health, so let's go to the left here and try to fill up on stuff. It's a shame that this is the only stage that doesn't have a HP upgrade, though. 8 hearts, 16 hit points altogether. If you've collected all the hearts so far, you should be all set. And from here, we need to face this guy. This guy doesn't fight that much differently from how we've seen him in before. He does the jumping and the jetpacking and everything, and you can duck down to avoid the ball and chain and crawl up to this guy and slash him if you need to. And you can also do that, which is also pretty cool. You can just stay up here and just fight him that way. Just fight him that whole time. And I wasn't even paying attention to the boss's health meter there. Anyway, let's go to the right, where we do have to deal with some spikes that come out of the floor. And if we want to, matter of fact, I recommend it. Once again, you get the usual, the statue head, the birthday cake, and the big star. Just try not to get hit on the way back. Thankfully, it's easier taking the windowsills back. And you have one more chance to refill on stuff with the enemies that are here, as well as what's in the chests. Once again, the game is very, very generous with all the pickups. And there's nothing above you, so don't even bother using the roll spell to go up there because there's nothing there. And once you go into this room, you'll face the Demon King. Wait for him to attack. Then jump up and hit him. If you're too close to him, he teleports. Thankfully, the blue projectiles are easy to avoid, though he can shoot a red one at you, and that one will hit the floor and cause a big fireball if he throws it. Thankfully, I would never allow him to throw it. And we still have 14 hit points. Not bad, because guess what? The Demon King has a second phase, and we're going to fight it right now. There's a gem. You want to hit that. It will disappear. You want to make sure that you don't get zapped by the lasers there. And you also want to watch out for the homing fireballs. Whenever the orb appears again, you want to strike it. Also, you never want to be underneath the boss because of those lasers. And man, I cannot get away from this guy for long enough, can I? Yep, he's doing that laser thing again. The red orb will shoot fireballs, and I believe the purple orb will shoot a multi-way shot. And these fireballs right here, which I call the Contra fireballs because they look like they came straight out of Contra, these things slowly move towards you and home in on you. And they can also show up from underneath the bottom of the screen. They can show up from underneath and give you a hard time. And they are probably the hardest thing to deal with in the entire boss battle. Just because of all the movement you have to make. And sometimes you'll have to tank damage just to even get away from them. These things do disappear, but it takes a while before they do. And their longevity, almost said longevity, which isn't even a word. Because of their longevity, those fireballs, those little Contra fireballs, yeah, they're definitely the hardest thing to deal with in the entire boss battle. And I am taking way much more damage than I would personally like. By the way, if you want, you can hit the orb with the grappling hook, which thankfully I have equipped just in case, but not like it's going to be that much of a problem. And apparently the orb is something you cannot jump into. Who would have thought? Really want to get out of there. Want to get that last hit in, and we're good. Obviously the hardest boss battle in the game. As long as you're patient, you can definitely do this one. And that is it. We have beaten Magical Poppin'. Once we defeat the Demon King, we get the magical stone back. Peace returns to the kingdom. Princess is doing the usual princess things, only now she has newfound magical powers thanks to the abilities that we collected along the way. And with that, the story ends. And that is it. That is Magical Poppin' for the Super Famicom. Interesting little game. Came out in the last couple years of the Super Famicoms. Well, not exactly the last few years. It would still last until 2000, but definitely came out in the mid-2000s. And we, in the West, never got this one. It's a shame, really, because even though it's a short by-the-numbers seeming platformer, it does have a nice little bit of charm. I like some of the bosses in this game, some of the enemies that you can fight. This game seems like it's going to be easy. not exactly a walk in the park, and I definitely like what I saw. The graphics, they're pretty bright, they're pretty colorful. They kind of fit the mood in the game. Same with the sound and music. I kind of mentioned the music in the mountain area in Stage 3 sounding like it belongs in Dungeon Explorer. The music obviously isn't meant to be taken that seriously, much like how anything in the game isn't meant to be taken that seriously. But at the same time, I did like that part, and I still feel like it belongs in Dungeon Explorer for the TurboGrafx 16 and PC Engine. The controls, they're pretty good, actually. The princess moves around fairly quickly. I can strike pretty quickly with the sword. The one thing that takes getting used to is the grappling hook. I still messed up at times, but once you get the timing down and you realize, hey, you have to swing forward when the princess's feet are up, you pretty much do well for yourself as far as using the grappling hook is concerned. Strangely, I never had to use the full screen clear attacks for anything. Never had to do that. As awesome as they look and all the damage they can do, I never had to use them. And finally, there's the replay value. There's not much to bring you back once you play through this game once. Though you could easily get through this game in an hour or two. And do I recommend this game? Absolutely. This is definitely one of those anime-ish titles for the Super Famicom. Everything here looks pretty good. Music is pretty lighthearted and not meant to be taken seriously, much like this game. Controls pretty well. Definitely worth giving a shot. It does have its hard parts, especially in the second half of the game, but this is by no means a bad platformer at all. And this has been Let's Play Magical Poppin' for the Super Famicom. Hopefully you enjoyed this as much as I did, maybe just a little bit more. And hopefully I will be back with another game. Maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll be bad. Maybe it'll be somewhere in between, who knows. Until then, this is PrinceWatercress. Take care. Stay safe. Thanks for watching, and see you guys later.